Live from the most watched station in Central Texas, this is KWTX News 10 on your side.
If you haven't noticed, traffic on I-35 has been even heavier lately with spring breakers coming and going.
That's become an even bigger headache in the Bell County area where construction areas have been the scene of lots of accidents lately. News 10's Madison Adams joins us now live with more. Madison.
Well, Julie and Gordon, that's exactly right. There have been multiple accidents along I-35, and when you add them up, a lot of them occur in the exact same locations. In fact, take a look at this map. It outlines some of the major locations around Central Texas that I-35 accidents have occurred. Now, some of them are seen along mile marker 285 and 286 in Salado, which has seen 4 major accidents in the last 2 weeks, which has shut down lanes of the highway for a total of nearly 24 hours. Now, these accidents led to many other minor accidents caused from people following too closely to the person in front of them. And that's something that TxDOT tells us is far too common. And there are other reasons like rain and spring break travelers that cause the roads to be a problem. Now, TxDOT tells us all of this is the perfect storm for problems on the interstate. And they say the best advice they can give is to allow extra time when traveling on Interstate 35.
When you get stressed, you start looking at the pavement right in front of your vehicle, and then you have to make quick, sudden, kind of jerky corrections, and that's a recipe for disaster.
Now, we spoke to Temple PD this afternoon, who told us just since the start of March, there have been 22 accidents that Temple PD has responded to, and that's not even including some of the minor accidents. Now, between Waco and Salado, there's about 80 miles of road, which means that right now, just at this given time, there's about 50 miles of that 80 miles that is under construction, meaning that a lot of that 80 miles is a set of concrete barriers on either side of the highway, leaving very little room for error. Live in Temple, Madison Adams, KWTX News 10.
A warning tonight if you drive on I-35. Accidents along the interstate are apparently adding up.
With so much construction going on, some sections seem particularly prone to trouble. Madison Adams joins us live in our newsroom to explain. Madison.
Tara and Gordon, that is exactly right. I added up some of the more serious crashes that either led to lanes of the interstate being shut down or massive delays, and found that many of the accidents occurred in the exact same locations.
Most drivers on I-35 have one goal in mind.
How can I get where I'm going as fast as possible?
But with 50 miles of road under construction from Waco to Salado, Jody Wheatley with TxDOT says that's a bad idea.
They're not thinking about safety factors along the way.
Parts of I-35 have been under construction for the past 5 years.
Thinking ahead and navigating the construction zones is key to being able to get through with as little stress and as little problem as possible.
But problem areas exist, and Temple PD has responded to roughly 22 accidents on I-35 just in the month of March, all dealing with one thing.
The construction zones has been causing a lot of issues with drivers not paying attention to the speed limit and driving so closely upon the other vehicles.
Most of the major accidents happen in 3 locations in Temple, Troy, and Salado, where concrete barriers line the roadway, leaving little room for error.
Watching their speed with the posted speed limits, and sometimes you may have to go a little slower than what's posted.
And when you do get on the road, allow yourself plenty of time to get to your destination.
Be respectful, use a little common sense, and when the weather's bad, to slow down.
Now, drivers should expect delays this week, but not necessarily from accidents. Some lanes of I-35 will be shut down due to construction at a few different times throughout the week. And for more detailed information on that, go to KWTX.com and click on the Find It button. Live in the newsroom, Madison Adams, KWTX News 10.
And good evening, Central Texas. It's only Tuesday, but with March Madness coming to Waco, a lot of folks are already looking forward to the weekend, and it's shaping up, Julie, to be a biggie. All but 2 hotels already sold out.
Wow, I've noticed all the crowds in town. We have big games coming up, the Marathon, and of course, spring breakers here to see Magnolia Market downtown. But this type of tourism is becoming the norm for Waco, and many people are benefiting as a result. News 10's Bethany Moore joins us from downtown Waco with the story. Bethany, lots of people visiting the downtown area the last few weeks.
Oh, definitely. You can see it right here at the Magnolia Market. Lots of people out here, big spring break crowd that's out here to come visit the Magnolia Market and the silos. But it's not just the restaurants and the local shops that are benefiting from this big tourism uptake. It's also a lot of the residents that are cashing in on the action and making a pretty penny.
The coolest thing about this property is that it was just ready to go.
Tripp and Kelsey Perks have discovered a gold mine right in their backyard.
This is a little house. So there's a full kitchen, 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, a nice sized living room.
The home they bought in 2014 had a small guest house in the back, which soon became a cash cow for the Perks.
Rented on Airbnb really just during football weekends was where it started. So we started there and then it just kept booking and booking.
The Perks property, like most other Waco properties on Airbnb, an online vacation rental site, has been booked almost solid since they started last fall.
See, we're rolling over the next couple months. So there's May, there's April.
Susan Morton with Waco Tourism said from the Mammoth site to Magnolia, the city has seen a steady uptick in tourism, which is big business for rentals and hotels.
And we'll see more and more B&Bs open. We're about to get 4 new hotels open, and all of those are going to fill up pretty quickly.
In 2007, the city earned $90 million from tourism, and in 2014, they earned $116 million, according to Texas Travel Impacts data.
And it just keeps snowballing, and everything keeps growing and getting better all the time.
Which is great news for sudden entrepreneurs like the Perks.
So what started as a little side gig now has really grown into a little business for us.
Now, the city of Waco said the majority of tourists that are coming to Waco are coming to see the Magnolia Market, but local residents that I talked to said they don't care. They're just happy that people are coming and seeing what all Waco has to offer. Reporting live, Bethany Moore, KWTX News 10.
All right, Bethany, and if you've been downtown the last couple of weeks, you've probably seen the big crowds. I saw folks lined up at the Magnolia Market, I mean, almost all the way back to Franklin.
Waco is a place to be.
It really is. Well, it's only Tuesday, but with March Madness coming to Waco, a lot of folks are already looking forward to the weekend.
Shaping up to be a big one. All but 2 hotels are sold out. We have big games, we've got the Marathon, and of course, spring breakers here to see the Magnolia Market. Now, this type of tourism is becoming the norm for Waco. Bethany Moore joins us now live from downtown with more on how some are benefiting.
Yes, that's right. I'm here at one of those top tourism spots. This is, of course, the Magnolia Market, and there's many restaurants and local shops that are benefiting from the many tourists that are coming to this area, but also now local residents are benefiting and kind of cashing in on that action and making a pretty penny. Now, many residents are turning to sites like Airbnb and HomeAway, renting out rooms in small rental houses to the many visiting Waco. On big weekends like this, almost all of the rentals are booked up, some even into June. According to research, there has been a steady uptick in tourism since 2007. That year, the city earned $90 million from tourism, and then in 2014, that number jumped up to $116 million. Susan Norton with Waco Tourism said the increase in tourism means big business for rentals and hotels.
We'll see more and more B&Bs open. We're about to get 4 new hotels open, and all of those are going to fill up pretty quickly.
Susan said the majority of tourists visiting Waco are here to see the Magnolia Market or maybe even catch a glimpse of Chip or Joanna Gaines. Now, the residents that I talked to said no matter what the reason that people are coming into Waco, they're just happy that people are visiting and really seeing what all Waco has to offer. Reporting live, Bethany Moore, KWTX News 10.
A teenager is behind bars, charged in connection to a shooting outside of a BJ's restaurant in Waco.
News 10's Madison Adams was on scene that night and joins us live from BJ's Brewhouse in Waco with more. Madison, what's the latest on this case?
Well, Tara and Gordon, what I can tell you is a shooting happened right in the restaurant parking lot of BJ's Brewhouse in Waco last week, which led to one man suffering from at least 2 gunshot wounds to his back. But Waco police tell us that you'd probably be surprised at how many drug deals happen at public locations around Waco.
Seems like just such a normal family place and everything, and to find out that they're having those kind of problems there is just really surprising to me.
That's why some patrons are still rattled that a drug deal could go down at this popular restaurant outside of Richland Mall.
I was surprised because I never expected such a, family-oriented place to actually have something like that happen.
That's not acceptable, especially shooting, and a kid could have got shot or anything.
But Waco PD says incidents like this happen more often than you think and in places you wouldn't expect.
Actually, if people would pay a little more attention to their surroundings, they would see drugs transactions like this occur.
He says in this case, BJ's restaurant just happened to provide the public parking lot to attempt a drug deal.
There's reasons they choose these areas. Part of it is to keep from being a victim of a crime themselves. It just happened that the suspects in this case didn't care.
19-year-old Eric Brooks is charged with aggravated assault in connection to the shooting, and police say he was attempting to purchase marijuana from 20-year-old DeAndre Deshawn DeGreat, but that either Brooks or another man opened fire and shot DeGreat.
You know, a lot of times people just say, well, it's just weed, it's just marijuana, nobody gets hurt. And I'll tell that to the victim in this case.
Now, the victim, DeGreat, was released from the hospital last week, but he returned to the hospital this weekend with some complications from his surgeries and actually is now in serious condition. Now, police say if you ever witness any type of illegal activity going on in any type of parking lot around town, to ensure your safety, to call 911 immediately. Live in Waco, Madison Adams, KWTX News 10.
Well, the IRS tax deadline is fast approaching. I know you've got all your taxes done, right?
Of course.
Sure. All right, so have you thought about filing yours yet?
Well, News 10's Madison Adams found a few places around town where people can file their taxes for free. She joins us live in the newsroom with more. Madison.
Well, that's right, Taryn Gordon. The tax deadline is typically April 15th, but this year the IRS says April 18th is the deadline due to a few holidays, and it is just 33 days away, meaning Central Texans everywhere are looking to file their taxes and, of course, hopefully cash in on a refund check. But sometimes the process of filing your taxes can mean a big hit to your bank account.
I'm on disability and I don't have the money to go out and do taxes like everybody else does.
Brian White isn't alone. There are many people who don't have the extra cash to spend on tax prep.
I checked prices at just to do one 1099-R, and it was $150.
But volunteers like Douglas Smith are there to help.
We've been filled up every day we've been here.
Douglas works at one of 4 free tax prep sites in Waco.
There are a lot of people here that require this service, and it's a very expensive service.
But here, it's free.
They're helpful, they're friendly, they're courteous.
But Adam Price with the Better Business Bureau says not everyone should take advantage of the free service.
If you don't file a standard deduction where you're going to have a lot more paperwork, it might be in your best interest to use a professional, somebody that actually is a tax attorney or their certified public accountant.
But as always, he says you need to protect your private information that is required on the tax forms.
You want to know what they're going to do with it, how long they're going to have it, and how they're going to destroy it.
Now, for a complete list of all the free places around Central Texas where you can file your taxes, go to KWTX.com and click on the Find It button. Live in the newsroom, Madison Adams, KWTX News 10.
A full-time mom, full-time student, and full-time wife, Katie Humphrey does it all, and believe me, it's not an easy job.
When her babysitter canceled on her hours before class, her only option was to take her 4-month-old little girl to Baylor with her. News 10's Madison Adams has the story of what actually happened next.
I had the Marine reaction since I was a Marine Corps, and I was like, well, I have to pull through somehow.
Katie Humphrey's babysitter had canceled and she needed to get to class at Baylor, so she knew she only had one option: take her 4-month-old daughter Millie to class with her.
So I was thinking, well, I hope I can balance both. You ready, little bean?
Katie walked into class holding her little girl and taking the first open seat, hoping that she wouldn't disturb the class.
And of course, Millie's kind of fussy, and and so Katie's trying to deal with her.
But the professor, Dr. Darren Willoughby, knew just how to handle the situation.
So I just grabbed her up and went right back to lecture and didn't miss a beat.
Holding the tiny child in his bodybuilder arms.
And he toted her around like a football and was totally content the whole time.
Millie was silent and happy the rest of class.
I didn't want her to feel uncomfortable about the whole situation because there's nothing to be uncomfortable about.
And he says he would do it again in a heartbeat.
taking care of others in a time of need, and even in not a time of need, just loving and caring about others. That's, you know, that's God's purpose.
Madison Adams, KWTX News 10.
She looked totally safe and content and just completely happy to be there.
And as a mom, it just puts you at ease knowing that you can still do what you got to do with your children.
People are there supporting you.
Exactly.
Wonderful to see.
All right, we continue this special edition of News 10. We will be airing our broadcast until 6 o'clock because of March Madness. We do want to start this half hour with some breaking news. We are going to take you live to the Twin Bridges area in Waco. That is where a badly decomposed body, we understand, has been found.
Let's go to Gordon Collier for an update. Gordon?
Yeah, Tara and Julie, we don't have a lot of information at this point. We have not been able to speak to detectives. Here's what we know just from our observations, and I'm going to step out of the shot and let you see what's going on here at the boat ramp at Midway Park. Apparently about an hour ago, someone got a call about a decomposed body either in the lake or very near the lake, right under the Twin Bridges. Now, we saw crews, they blocked off the roads, they apparently picked the body up, brought it over to this boat ramp here at Midway Park, and they had it in a blue body bag, and just minutes ago the coroner drove off. And again, we haven't been able to talk to police at the scene yet. They haven't said anything to us, but apparently a body has been found. It's been loaded up by the coroner. We're waiting to talk to police at this point to get any kind of details. Back to you.
Okay, Gordon, thank you. All right, we'll keep you updated on that as we get more information.
Tara, police say the body is badly decomposed and they're not saying much else. We do know it was discovered around 3:30 this afternoon right under the Twin Bridges in Waco. A fisherman watched it all unfold. Waco firefighters hopped into a boat and started searching part of Lake Waco near Highway 6. Joe Vigil, who also fishes here, saw the search up close.
Probably been out here about 20-30 minutes maybe.
Vigil spent the afternoon near Midway Park fishing near the area where the body was found.
Basically, I saw the boat come up. It looks like park rangers or something, and they just slowly inched their way up to, like, through all the weeds and stuff and got up to the bank.
He watched as crews prepared to remove the remains.
And they were at the front of the boat as if they were looking at something or for something. And that's it. And I was watching them for a minute, and then the fire truck and everything showed up afterwards. Probably about 15 minutes after they showed up.
The park will still be open this weekend to campers as police continue their investigation. In Waco, Brandon Marshall, KWTX News 10.